what you were shopping for. Your tailgating supplies Sunday.
Oh no, that's just regular.
No, okay.
You're gonna have to do that.
All right, it is 6 o'clock. I'd like to bring the Board of Health meeting for Monday, September 11th, 2023 open. It is 6 p.m. Vice Chair Mills is absent today, as is Kristen Kennedy. First item on the agenda will be the opening of the Wells regulation hearing. And that is for questions or concerns regarding the new amendments to the bylaws or regulations.
Yeah, regulations. So
anyone present have questions about this?
topic, well regulations, okay. And it's pretty much simple. At this point, you can vote to accept the changes in the regulations. Clean copy will be brought to the clerk's office, stamped in, and then a copy will be sent to the AG's office for filing. And then we'll have to amend it on the town website under that particular section of the wells. We'll have to remove the old one and put the new one on,
Great, then I would make a motion to accept the amendments to Chapter 369 private wells as is written in this amendment.
Second.
All those in favor, Zayas, yes?
Me and yes.
Great.
Now you have to close the meeting
So
at
I am
6:01.
closing the hearing of well regulations at 6:01 p.m. All right. Moving right along, we have a variance for 151 Purchase Street, variance from Title V Code 310 CMR 15.233 to keep one compartment tank with the addition of an in-law apartment. Is anyone here
to represent the variance request?
Yes.
Okay.
If you could just come up front, introduce yourself, tell us your address as well.
So my name is Cameron Hughes. I live at 151 Purchase Street. I'm the homeowner there, and I'm the one requesting the variance before you.
Okay.
So basically, what Cameron has applied for, to build a in-law apartment on his house. It's currently under construction presently. Title V states that when you have a in-law apartment or two-family home, you need to have a two-compartment tank. Currently, his septic system is designed for 4 bedrooms. It's going to remain a 4-bedroom. He's transitioning his current bedroom into a bathroom, and that will allow another bedroom to be built in the in-law apartment. Currently, his septic system is a 1-compartment tank, and it went in.
I was just going to ask, how old is the current system?
2007 is when the current system was repaired.
Did Director Kennedy mention that she would like a Title V done of the septic system to make sure it was functioning properly?
She did not mention that to me, but I am more than happy to oblige.
Okay. So that's one thing we usually do when there's any exceptions, especially not just you, but like commercial, non-residential, we ask for a Title V inspection to be done, just to make sure everything's working properly so there isn't any issues. As Tim Meyer said, that the code states that anything more than a single dwelling home has to have a 2-compartment tank. The explanation is that the first compartment of the tank will catch more of the very distracted. What it does is it catches the fats on the top, the fecal matter in the bottom, the water in the middle, and has to go over another hurdle and do that same process again before it gets into the field. So it's a layer process. It makes the life of the system longer, but it's also a little protection level on that. Mm-hmm. When it's a residential situation, you're looking at it's their system, and if there's an issue, we would order them to repair it within and maintain not having a health issue. So those are some things I wanted to point out as Mr. Inspector Myers mentioned.
I'm glad he brought that up, because that would be my only concern, that if it would pass a Title V, could we make a motion and vote on it, provided the Title V passed? Or would we have to come back? Because I certainly don't want it to have to come back. Can we do that?
Yes, that could be what that would. I'm sorry, I'm stumbling over my words tonight. That would be something that you could add to the approval of the variance. at a Title
I would
V
be in
unit.
favor of that, certainly not making them come back. And then it might be something as simple as a D-box or something like that, but that would be the only thing I would
The
request.
current system is a septic tank to a pump chamber
Yeah.
to the field.
So it's been, and there's
I
other
don't want
things.
to put anything on there, just.
Yeah,
No, that's perfect.
yeah, and that's, you know, you can, with a pump chamber, you can actually change the dosing and do smaller doses.
Sure.
But as long as the field is capable, are you adding on to the field as well?
We are not planning to.
Oh, because
No,
you're
it's
starting
gonna
at
stay-
four.
it's gonna stay as
It'll-
is.
yeah, it'll
Four
stay
to
as is,
four.
provided-
It's just you have to add the tank because you went from a single family dwelling to a
Yeah,
in-law.
that was
Okay.
that was the idea originally, was to remain a 4-bedroom home, and hopefully not have to upgrade said tank.
Perfect.
So
Hopefully not, yeah.
hopefully not. I mean, it seems to be working fine so far. So
Great, then I'll make a motion to approve the variance for 155 Purchase.
Wait, hold on.
So, do we get a chance to discuss?
Oh, sure,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sorry,
it's-
my apologies.
Yeah, it's usually you make a motion and then you open for discussion.
Okay, my apologies. Absolutely. Is there discussion about this case?
This variance. Yeah. So you
wanna
can
get
take a
feedback?
seat, and anyone who wants to come up, say your name, and ask whatever your address, whatever question. you have.
Yeah, my name's Chris Mansfield. I'm at 155 Burgess, next door. I mean, the concern that I have about the septic system is that I know they're calling it an in-law apartment, but there's more than 3 adults living there right now. So my concern is the addition is right next to the property line. Anything that happens with the septic, if you look at the house, it actually rolls downhill and it goes right into our front yard. So my concern is that with the amount of people that live there, if the septic system, if something happens to the septic system, now it's a problem for my yard to come in because everything, you know, you look at the house, if you go by their house and our house, it's up on a hill that rolls right down into our front yard. So,
I have a copy of the septic as-built for 151 Purchase. You live to the left of him, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It would have to go. His system is on the right.
It's actually on my side.
It's on your side.
I have a
Okay.
chance. I'll-
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry. All right, so it's over here. Your concern is that it's going to flow this way into your yard?
yeah, I mean, we had issues during the construction. There was water that flooded our front yard earlier. You know, like I said, it's not, I know they're calling it an in-law apartment, but there's multiple adults living there. It's not just 3 adults that are living there. So,
So the design criteria is
Is
for
for
four
four-
bedrooms.
four bed- that's- I was
Four
gonna go there
bedrooms,
next,
which would
right?
be approximately 8 feet.
So,
That's-
and what kept it to 4 bedrooms, and I read this earlier, is that there was an elimination of a room upstairs in lieu of a master bath or something like that.
Correct.
Is
Right
that
now,
correct?
this bedroom
Yeah.
has been, as part of the construction process, has been eliminated, and they're turning it into a bathroom. And then, so that bedroom count would then go into the in-law apartment. So it's going to stay.
And I have no reason to doubt these people, but I mean, did we confirm that? Have we seen the building plans or the building permit or anything like that?
Yes,
Just to
yeah,
alleviate
we've
their
seen that, and I was
concerns.
actually out at the property last week, along with the building department.
Now, the runoff that you were talking about, was that because it was under construction and there was equipment moving around and they didn't have grass? Because the grass obviously absorbs a lot of the water. Was it that kind
no,
of
they're
runoff?
pumping water out, and the water ended up in our front yard.
They were pumping water, because they were putting in the foundation or?
I'm not sure which
No, we
part it
don't
was.
know.
I mean,
Nobody
you
came
know.
over to talk to us. So.
Right, but it wasn't sewerage, I trust.
No, but I mean, the issue is that with that hill going down and with the amount of people that live at that house, that it's not like it's 3 people that are using that septic system.
Right.
But it also sounds like the septic system is built for 8 people.
Yeah, so when to let people at home know and everyone in the room know, when Title V was designed, they figured 55 gallons a person per day. So per bedroom, they doubled that 55 gallons, and that's where they get the 110 gallons from. So a bedroom of 4. And what we can also do is when he has the Title V done, get the water usage records.
Right.
Because that's part of a Title V inspection. Then you can ensure if there is a lot of people living there that the water usage does not exceed 440 gallons a day on average. And that's part of the Title V inspection, which we review in our office. Tim does actually. So that's another catch if there's a lot of people living
Title
there.
V, right?
Oh, yeah, it's required 2 years. Water.
2 years of water records.
And if there is sewage runoff, then it would not pass a Title V inspection, right? So then it would have to be repaired anyways or replaced if that were to happen.
Correct. It would be, there's 3 ways it could fail a Title V. It backs into the house, it breaks out of the ground, which is your concern, or it's in the water table. That system's so new, it wouldn't be in the water table because the way we determine the water table now. If it broke out of the ground, it'd be an emergency repair. An emergency order would be written to repair it, and it would cut everything in line. Like everything we take in, it's one after another as it comes in. It goes to the top of the pile like that. Myself or Inspector Myers would have to write an order letter to do that if there was breakout at any time. So that's our catch-all, but they're here tonight to voice their concerns.
Well, and that would be protective for them, correct?
So.
I mean, it seems like if the code's there for an in-law apartment, then it's there for a reason. You know, I mean, I don't know why.
Right. So.
What about the apartment that's in the back of the pool house with the bathroom and the other room?
We're here to talk about the variance tonight.
Right, but doesn't that affect
That
the
pool,
septic?
I have not been on that property, Tim. If you could
I've
speak.
been on the property. I did a walkthrough of the new construction, the current house, the garage, and the pool house cabana. And I was acting on the complaint, I think, that you had written to the zoning department, the building department. So I went out there with the building inspector, Paul DeBadges, and when we walked through, I didn't see anybody. Definitely the garage is completely full of equipment. There's no living area above it. The cabana has like a kitchen setup with a toilet and a sink. And in the kitchen area is a 2-compartment sink, and I just see a couch. So.
Well, no, I mean, we were just curious if that affects then the 4-bedroom part.
It does not.
Okay.
Okay, so Easton's got a lot of swimming pools in the backyard with these, I call it wet cabanas. And every time a cabana is put in, the first question myself or Mr. Myers asks, does it have sink and where did it sink and a toilet? Because most people put a toilet and a sink in there just because they don't want people soaking wet going through their house. This one, I believe, goes into a dry well out back. Is that correct? Am I correct on that? So it's not a part of this system. It's not something we have on record. Usually, when these are built, do you guys know? I don't know how long ago the cabana was built.
Well, there's no building permit ever pulled on it, or the pool, and so these were all predated before you bought the house. But unfortunately, the building department doesn't have any records of when it was constructed.
Yeah. So if they were building it today, we'd have them run a pressure dose line to the tank, and they would all go into one system. So pretty much what you have on the site is a small system that, if it was call it cesspool or honeycomb, but a pit. With the amount of usage, normal usage out of that, it should last 30 years without being pumped once, because it's 3 to 4 months a year of usage. You're not doing laundry. Laundry's kind of one of the big loads that hit septic systems. So I mean, I hope that answers your question.
It does, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So-
That's good. That's good to know.
So if this is the front, so are you, where are you?
Right here.
You're on this side.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is everything rolls downhill. I mean, it's all,
Right.
they're uphill from us, so anything that happens.
But I think the only reason I'm asking is because that's really the opposite side of the leaching field in the system
Well, and
as a
it's,
whole. Right?
in theory, they're going 4 bedrooms to 4 bedrooms and not trying to stuff 550 gallons into a 440 gallon day. Was the system over-designed at all, Tim? It should say design criteria and then actual design. Sometimes they designed it for an extra 50. And it should be on the front of the point. Oh, you need the specs.
Yeah.
Look under the
It's 4 gallons over.
4 gallons over, so it's designed right on. Okay. Sometimes they'll do an extra 50. I know that also Mr. Hughes has a trailer on the property that he's living in and was unaware that the Board of Health needs to give permission to have a trailer on the property if you're using it at all. It used to be more than 30 days, now it's at all. He did send us in a letter. He will be on the next meeting to get approval to have the trailer that he is staying in. So he has been very proactive with Kristen and stuff. So
Might I add to that point?
yeah,
So along with that trailer, the only thing we're really using that for is sleeping, because our bedroom is now in upheaval. And it has air conditioning for our 5 and 2-year-old. So they may use it occasionally to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, but I mean, how much good will it really be processing?
And it's in, the waste is in a holding tank.
Yeah.
And just to go,
So how many people are there now, currently? Before the in-law, how many people are living there?
You're
Before
a
the
family of
in-laws?
4 and my parents.
And your parents are
6
coming in,
people.
so 6.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, there's the other guy that lives in the pool house too.
No, there isn't.
There is definitely a guy. I see him every morning. I work from home. I see him every morning.
That's
walking
my
out.
father-in-law.
That's my father.
I see him in there.
And he goes out there to make his lunch in the morning. He doesn't know.
No, he comes out of there in the morning because he sleeps in there.
So you inspected that, though?
Well,
I
let's
know you
see.
put the
Yeah.
blinds up,
Yeah.
but he sleeps in there. We told him.
And he-
So if
we're
I
here
just
tonight.
add-
We're here tonight.
So
Can you come to the mic, please?
Sure, absolutely.
Please. Yeah.
If you could introduce yourself and your address, that would be
Yeah.
great.
Thanks.
So my name is Norman Bello. I actually live on 147 Purchase Street. I'm the neighbor of the Hughes where the septic tank or the field resides. I have no issues with them seeking a variance because I know that if something were to go wrong, they would promptly fix it. I think they've agreed to do a Title V inspection. So I just wanted to show up. I received the letter and to say I have no issues with them seeking the variance. I also can confirm, because I live on that side, that there's no one living in the pool house. Like Julie said, her father-in-law, not her father-in-law, her stepdad, who's married to her mom, goes out there, makes his lunch. When he comes back from work, he'll go out to the pool house for whatever reason, but I can confirm because I see it. It's on my side that there's no one living there.
Well, we're not housing police, you know.
Sure,
We're
yeah,
just-
absolutely.
Yeah.
I just wanted to.
Yeah, no, I appreciate the input for
Yes.
sure.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you, absolutely.
I think the motion should stand.
Yeah,
I
I agree.
understand your concerns. I do. I get that, and I don't take that lightly. I think the fact that we're going to do the Title V inspection should alleviate those concerns. That and the fact that the septic system, the leaching field, all of it contained is opposite your property. So I think the concern about the runoff isn't likely. I know these two gentlemen, and I trust what they say about septic systems. That's a long history, but I understand what they say, and certainly the inspections and your statement. But the fact that you went out and you looked at the cabana, I would be comfortable with the motion as it stands.
All right, so let's repeat it. I'll make a motion to approve the
Was
variance.
there anybody else?
Yeah, sorry.
No.
Anyone else? You're like, no. All right, I make a motion to approve the variance for 151 Purchase Street, a variance from Title V Code 310 CMR 15.23 to keep a 1-compartment tank with the addition of the in-law apartment.
Contingent upon the Title
Contingent
V.
upon a Title V, passing Title V inspection.
If it doesn't pass, what would the deal? We would come back again.
No.
No?
No.
He would probably move forward in replacing his system because once you have a failed Title V,
Good point.
Title V states that you have to fix it within 2 years, unless it's an emergency, and then we're right out there.
Perfect.
You know what I mean? So, but if it was in the water table or backed up into his house or it's been pumped more than 4 times consecutively in a year.
Yeah.
So those are the criteria for
I'll
failure.
second that.
All those in favor? Zai is yes.
Me and yes.
Excellent. Thank you so much for all of your time. All right, excellent. Next on the agenda for action discussion, we have the authorization of Mark Taylor to approve all LUA requests for the duration of Director Kennedy's absence, September 11th, 2023 through September 21st, 2023.
Just as a point of clarity, that local upgrade approval requests are kind of like the first step of you put in a new system and you get a relief from the water table. It's too close to the house, but you have a small lot. Kristen usually does these. I review the plans. Kristen does the LUA. She's asked me to do this so she doesn't come back from her trip with hours of this to do. So this has been done before. And usually we do it for set duration, so when she comes back, I no longer have the authority to do it. So
I'll make a motion to so authorize Mr. Taylor.
Second. All those in favor, Zayas, yes.
Me and yes.
Great. Next on the list, we have a betterment for 6 Karen Murray.
Yes, so the current septic system, they're pumping it quite often. They're seeking the $45,000 to go ahead and repair and upgrade the septic system. They're good standing with the town in terms of the taxes and their bills. So they're in the process of, we just had the perk test done out there recently. So
Great. Any questions?
No questions.
Great. Make a motion to approve the betterment for 6 Karen Murray.
Second?
All those in favor, Zayas, yes.
Me and yes.
Excellent. Next on the agenda, we have West Nile virus.
So as you may have seen, we did have 3 positive mosquito samples. We used to call them pools, but now they're called samples from the town of Easton. So that took our risk level from low to moderate. And the recommendation from the state when at moderate risk is to do what we've done is sent out statements to camps, our community list, the schools, and that way we can hopefully have them disseminate the information we give them, and there's links that they can go look at and things like that. West Nile virus, I believe, if I can do the numbers off the top of my head, there was 178 cases or 218 since they started recording it, and 7 deaths. All the deaths were people that were immunocompromised, from what I read. So
Is that statewide or is that countrywide?
Massachusetts.
Wow.
Massachusetts. So it's serious. It's not as bad as Triple-E, but it's still, if you're you have cancer treatment, something else, you're immunocompromised, you want to take precaution and get out there.
So since the third one, the latest, the most recent discovery, have there been any other?
No, not, and I'll have to check tomorrow because the data comes out on Tuesdays.
Okay. And that last one, if I recall, was, I think, prior to the last meeting, no?
Yes.
A month ago.
Yes.
And we haven't heard anything since.
Right.
No escalation.
Yeah,
in numbers or
and
anything.
where West Nile virus, there's 53 species of mosquitoes in Massachusetts. And there's about 4 species that really can carry the virus, and they tend to live in catch basins. Not the ones you see, the big open ones, but the drain basins in the street. The more rain we have actually is good for that part of it because it washes them away. The larvae rather, washes them away. And so that's a good thing. We still get them. We have them every year. We, knock on wood, we haven't had any Triple-E's yet, but those usually happen in September for us. So.
How about our surrounding communities? Have we heard anything from them?
Yes, there's been West Nile in Norton and Raynham. And so there's a nice little map. You can go on DPH's website and look at it, and you can see the towns that are blue or low, yellow or moderate.
Yeah, I was looking at that.
Yeah,
What
so-
about Triple-E? Anybody?
In Worcester County, not here.
Okay.
So that's more than the mosquito might fly as of yet, but birds can. So, but we do treat the swamp in the spring. Well, not we, but the state. does treat.
And samples are taken every week?
Yep. Every week until we have a hard frost, which 28 degrees for more than 4 hours.
All right. Next on the agenda, we have an acceptance of minutes from the August 14th, 2023 meeting.
Motion to accept?
Second. All those in favor, Zayas, yes.
Me and yes.
Excellent. Any staff notes?
just like I said last meeting, we've had quite a few foodborne illness investigations. So I think it's 6 this month alone. But
Is that in restaurants or in homes?
restaurants, but it's not. These people, one case came from another country. There's,
Yeah, it's all over the place.
it's all over the map.
I think your findings in the last meeting, you said there was really nothing
Right.
that
Nothing
would have been done differently or should have been done differently?
No,
Okay.
based on what they were eating, how it's prepared. I wasn't concerned.
Great.
For the people at home, when doing a foodborne investigation, you kind of take it from when it comes in the door, where it's stored, how's it open, what's prepared, the different items. Tim has a nice little risk chart for each type of food that he fills out, and then we fill out a whole thing which is attached to the actual form for the state. So
Member notes?
I have none.
Nothing, no, I don't either. Anyone have any other comments, questions, concerns they want to address? Excellent. Then let's adjourn the Board of Health meeting on Monday, September 11th, 2023 at 6:25 p.m.
make a motion.
I make a motion to adjourn the Board of Health meeting at 6:25 p.m. on Monday, September 11th.
Second?
All those in favor, Zayas, yes.
Me and yes.
Excellent. Thank you everyone for coming.
Welcome to Easton.
Yeah, so suit on, sweating to death, dancing around, dancing, and I just
I tell you, I worked all the games in the conference over there for 20 years. Like,
The kitchen wasn't good.
Amy's like, you want to go to
The second kitchen.
country fest?
the building department
Related
still
to
looking
Amy?
into zoning.
I am.
Oh, so you live
So-
down the street there too.
I spoke to you on the
Was
phone.
my son's and my daughter's guidance counselor.
Oh, good. Oh, wow.